So we are going to start out with the Carolina Panthers, who were the worst team in football last year at 2-15, 1-5. Did not hold a lead at any point during a football game. The only leads that they held were their 2 wins on game-winning kicks against the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons and the Panthers was the worst game of all time last year. Now, new head coach, Dave Canales is going to help get Bryce Young back onto what he was at Alabama. A lot more strength and just all that stuff. Stuff is slamming everywhere. I don't know what that was. But, yeah, Panthers hoping to rebound from last year into maybe some greener pastures.
Yeah, sorry, that was Bryce Young's books falling out of his backpack. That toddler showing up to training camp. Right, that's what that was.
I like that they had him start at a brick wall and make him walk out into a random parking lot. Oh, can you just pretend you just showed up for day one? And it was like,
well, I don't. Why in the hell would they say that's a great idea, or he thought that was a good idea, or his agent or thought that was a great idea? Yeah, no, not a great idea there for Bryce Young, probably one of the shorter quarterbacks in the NFL, which also didn't play out in their favor last season. So give me this garbage offense. Let me see this garbage depth chart, please.
So looking at, I got to find my cursor here really quick. So looking at the Carolina Panthers, they've made some moves. They made some logical moves. So Bryce Young was sacked. Well, Panthers quarterbacks, because Andy Dalton started a game or two last year, were sacked 66 times. So they needed to re-solidify the offensive line. So going after Damian Lewis from the Seahawks, going after Robert Hunt and the Miami Dolphins. The Hunt move was, I really feel was more desperation, paying him $20 million, 5-year, $100 million total contract. That was a must for the Panthers, who still have Taylor Martin. They still have Iquanu at left tackle. Austin Coper, he still is, the center for the Carolina Panthers. They make a trade for Deontay Johnson. They exchanged a sixth went one way, a seventh went another way to Pittsburgh for Dante Jackson, the cornerback. They get him another target to pair up with Adam Thielen. They go out and they trade up in the draft, actually, from number 33 all the way to number 32 to take Xavier Legette. And yeah, they take Jonathan Brooks, who could be a nice up-and-coming NFL running back whenever he gets back from his ACL injury that he suffered very late into the season with Texas. That's all I really have. I don't have much else to say about the Carolina Panthers right now, but I think the tides are turning. It's going to be a decent tide turning motion going on.
Yeah, I'm just not falling into the trap. I mean, I really like Xavier Leggett, but not doing this for the 6th year in a row. With
I said it last year. I said I'm not impressed with this team, and everyone was kind of like, did he just say what I thought he just said?
Well,
I said it last year.
You people hyped up this entire division. Wow, genius me. Did not form any of this garbage, and you guys all decided to talk about this whole division should take a half an hour. Talking about the NFC South should take a half an hour total. So, yes, Deontay Johnson gets traded. That's a good deal for Bryce Young. They draft Leggett out of, South Carolina?
Yeah, I believe so.
One of the more kind of hyped up wideout going into this draft outside of the top 3 guys, clearly. And he ended up kind of moving up boards. So we'll see. He's got some weapons to throw to now, not just old Adam Thielen, who, again, came out in the offseason and was like, oh, yeah, I wish I went to the Kansas City Chiefs. That's also great. Nice job being a big team member there for the Panthers there, Thielen. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what – again, we're going to start off. We're already on the offense. I could care less about when we get to the defense. The only thing that matters about the Carolina Panthers is, does Bryce Young look like he belongs? Because last year he did not. So that's pretty much what this team's all about. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to be a playoff team. It all comes down to, how does Bryce Young look? That is literally the Carolina Panthers in a nutshell. What is a successful season for the Panthers? Bryce Young and his development, because he looked lost last season as the number 1 overall pick.
Keeping him upright would help a lot too.
He sure would.
And that's what they did with Damian Lewis, bringing him in from Seattle. But then I don't really like the Robert Hunt signing. That was a really big overpay, as I mentioned a couple minutes ago. But I have 2 things to take away here. One, I don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers have a magic 8 ball that they keep in the front office, because whenever they shake it up and say, oh, should we trade insert name here, wide receiver, they just know when to trade them before they just fall off a fiscal cliff. Martavius Bryant, Antonio Brown, Chase Claypool. Can Deontay Johnson be on that list of like, oh, hey, we just finessed another team for, draft pick, a player, and whatnot?
Probably.
I assume that's what they have. They just wait for the yes or the no to pop up in the Magic 8 Ball. And my second thing here. Oh,
Yeah.
you could go, Dom.
No, all you.
Okay, so Dave Canales, okay, longtime part of the Seahawks coaching staff with Pete Carroll. He started in USC. He makes the move from California up to the Pacific Northwest. Was there for 2010 all the way to 2 years ago. Quarterbacks coach, wide receivers coach. He's won the Super Bowl with them. I think Dave Canales can do what he needs to do to get Bryce Young back on track. 2 years ago, as the quarterbacks coach for the Seahawks, Geno Smith was a Pro Bowler, throwing a hair over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Last year, he goes from the Seahawks, he goes to the Buccaneers, he gets Baker Mayfield paid, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and again a hair over 4,000 yards. I think he could be the next quarterback whisperer of the league. As a head coach, I mean, going from quarterbacks coach to offensive coordinator, now he's a head coach. I think he has what it takes to turn Bryce Young around. I'm not saying like, oh, throw for 4,000 yards. Maybe 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns. No way, shape, or form is this going to be a playoff team or playoff contending team at all.
I will say, I mean, like adding what they've added to this receiving core, it is a better receiving core still than some of the teams we looked at last week. I know I would say this is Patriots. Yep. I would even say the Bills was not very pretty when we looked at the Bills. So at least I guess they have something going for them. But, I mean, nonetheless, like you said, not a playoff team. I mean, running game could be okay. It was okay last year. Miles Sanders being third on this chart is weird, but whatever. It's just, I don't know. Like you said, not a playoff team. I say we jump to the defense.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say on here. So,
yeah.
Defense, they trade away Brian Burns for a second-round pick and a seventh-round pick to the Giants. They could have had 2 1s and I think some extra change if they traded them to the Rams a couple years ago, or even some of the other teams at the trade deadline sniffing around for a key edge rusher, defensive end looking linebacker. He's no longer there. The defense, it's not bad. They've made a couple moves. Jadeveon Clowney returns home, returning to his heirs of the Carolinas. Hasn't been there since playing at South Carolina, and then going on to be the number 1 overall pick. They've also signed DJ Wam, Ashawn Robinson, Josie Jewell, who I think is a really good signing at the middle linebacker spot. Dane Jackson, Jordan Fuller, Nick Scott. But they've also lost a lot of key pieces, including Frankie Louvu, C.J. Henderson, Dante Jackson, Von Bell, Jeremy Chin. So some of the additions are nice, but then the subtractions it just equals out at this rate.
Yeah.
Kind of now on the older side now on defense instead of trying to be young and trying to, get something cooking.
It's an NFL defense, but it's like still the worst defense in this division, I think. I don't know. It's not. This is
the thing with the Panthers, though. They always have like pieces that you look like, oh, maybe they could be good. Oh, this could be something, and then they just never do. And we're all just ignoring the elephant in the room that with one bad week, they might just, throw everything in the toilet because the owner's a madman.
Oh, what's his name again? I'm drawing a big blank on it.
David Tepper.
Yes. Yeah. And this team's been obviously incredible in his reign as the owner of this team. Obviously, accomplishments everywhere. It's pure sarcasm. I don't know. And then for them to go the head coach route they did, it's cool, but it's not.
Well, it's because they couldn't get anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work for the guy.
It wasn't a good sell. And that's what happens. I don't know. Oh, this was who we thought was intimidated by Vrabel.
Yes.
That's right.
That's why we said like the perfect hire would be Vrabel.
And then it came out with that news that like a team or whatever was intimidated, or a owner was intimidated by Vrabel or something, so he didn't go the Vrabel route. Very strong vibes that it was this team, that owner. So
I don't know. A comment on Instagram, TikTok here by Vanilla Baby. If the Panthers still had CMC, it would make a difference. CMC is a great player.
Yeah.
CMC is a phenomenal player. Okay, like I still wish he was in the Panthers uniforms because he looks really good in them, but he also looks really good in a Niners uniform as well, and he just kind of like fits that deal with.
I mean,
Shanahan. He follows like Shanahan's father, and then Christian's father, Ed McCaffrey, and then it's just like, hey, like the next generation, they're just player coach combination all over again.
That's like saying. Like, I mean, you could say this. If you had CMC on the offense would be much better. If you had Brian Burns on the defense, the defense would be much better. I mean, there's two game changers that, you were forced to get rid of because you can't put the team together on the field and put together wins.
Also,
and coaching and the owner and there's too much.
2 firsts for Burns.
Yeah, that too is crazy.
At least also declined some stuff before the season last year too.
Yeah.
I don't know what they declined, but
I know they declined 2 different deals from the Eagles for a fact. One of them included 2 firsts.
All I know is that this is driving me nuts again. This is going to be the Falcons from last year. We're going on 14 minutes into the show, and we are still on the Carolina Panthers.
It's only about 12 minutes. So let's go into the schedule. Let's go into the schedule here.
On from the dumpster fire known as the Panthers. Yes, they're gonna suck.
Hey.
They'll probably be the first overall pick again. Who the hell cares about Bryce Young and his little freaking backpack assing Panthers? Please move on. The team sucks.
Colton, we gave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like 3 minutes last year, and they were.
That's what this team should get. 3 minutes.
So let's go into the schedule here, and I can ask the all-important question: what will make this season successful this year? And I think I can say it for everyone here.
Development. That is it. If Bryce Young looks like a franchise guy, that is a success for the Panthers. Outside of that, looking at the schedule, it's ass. Good luck winning any football games if you're Carolina. And by the way, they're going to have an empty-ass stadium again this season. It's going to be $5 to get in the freaking joint. They suck. Next. Oh, I hate the NFC South.
I say the ceiling is 8 wins, and then the floor is still 4.
I hate the NFC South. Holy God, I hate this thing.
I'm only counting losses. I'm not counting wins. I mean, their schedule is not like hard at all, really.
It is for them.
They suck. Well, yeah, but I'm saying like a normal NFL team, this is like kind of an easy schedule for the most part. But it is. I mean, it's like you could copy and paste last year's stuff and just put it here with what will make this team successful.
I don't see a win until possibly week 8 with Denver. That's about it. When the hell? Then the Giants. When the hell are they winning a football game? Seriously.
Commander.
They're not beating the Saints at home in New Orleans. They're not winning in Vegas. Like, come on. Look at this guy. Where the hell are they winning a football game? Maybe week 8 against Denver. And, oh, by the way, it's on the road. When are they winning a game? Seriously.
I don't think they win one.
They win week 11.
Like, this team sucks.
They win.
Are you appreciative now because the Panthers and Giants have to play in Germany, and now you got your wish of 2 awful teams playing.
Thank you. Send the garbage teams there. It's what it should be. Goodbye. No one wants to see these 2 dumpster fires. Goodbye.
That's so stupid.
Well, yes, really sending our best.
Let's show what Germany football is like.
Hey, John.